Good morning, everyone. We'll do a little sound check here to start. Welcome, Amy. Welcome, Mark. Kathy, I presume. Glad you're here this morning. A little bit of a dreary COVID Wednesday outside, but lots to be excited for, lots to live for. Looking forward to a great practice with you all today. So, I found myself out on a little walk yesterday, trying to get some fresh air and realizing just how beautiful a place we live in, how lucky we are to be here. And that's really the foundation of any practice, is appreciation for where we are, no matter our circumstance. The joy of being alive, having a physical form is not all of who we are, but a great barometer for how we're doing. So, something to keep in mind as we practice today. What are you grateful for? What are you really happy about in life? What are you excited about? Almost regardless of external circumstance. So certainly, external circumstance can be a helpful guide or a mirror in understanding your own enjoyment. Let's begin the practice today just by, as ever, finding a comfortable seat on the mat. I like to move my knees around a lot. If you're at home and don't have a mat, maybe you're on a couch, maybe you're seated. Of course, modify throughout the practice today based on what you need and what's available to you. As for me, I like to have something, a pillow or a bolster under the hips. Right now here I have my trusty block. Maybe you have something like that at home. And when you sit, it can be really helpful to express the knees toward the floor. Maybe your knees don't do that, but do the best you can. Relax the thighs, the hamstrings, and possibly even line up the heels right here. Now just begin to notice the natural breath. As you're doing this, noticing the natural breath, observe whether you're pitched forward or back, side to side. I'm looking at myself in a lot of ways in the camera so I can see that, but do the best you can, not being able to see yourself from the outside. One of my teachers, Rudrananda, from what is now the Shambhava tradition, said that it's really important before we do pranayama to understand how the breath comes in the body naturally, and that for every person it's slightly different. So as you bring your eyes to a close now, continue to observe the breath. Just notice how it's coming in. Rudrananda actually believed that we have something of a psychic digestive system, that we take in prana from the third eye center, that we drink it into the front side of the body, that over time, as we learn to practice the lower chakras, actually infuse that prana with a sex energy, and then over time the base of the spine is activated with kundalini, and the kundalini rises up the spine, up to the top of the head, back of the head, top of the head, and that's what leads to a so-called kundalini awakening. How this relates to us this morning is just to notice how the energy is coming in. So that we begin to attune to it more and more. And when we start pranayama practice, a few seconds here, we're working from a natural base. Last step as you're observing the breath, relax the face and jaw, relax the neck. Feel a wave of relaxation pouring over the body, down the front and back of the heart, the belly, the lower back, all the way down to the hips and legs. Excellent. Now the breath instruction for pranayama is the following. Breathe in for a count of 10 seconds through the nose. Begin now. Hold the breath in for 10 seconds. Let the breath partially out and feel a little catch in the belly. Inhale again, 10 seconds, and retain. Slowly exhale for 10 seconds. Good, that's one round. Excellent. Full breath in through the nose. Full breath out. Full breath in. Full breath out. Full breath in, 10 seconds. Take your time and retain the breath. Retain for 10 seconds. Slowly let the breath out. Firm the abdomen. And inhale again for 10 seconds. Feel the body charging up with energy. And slowly, over the next 10 seconds, release the breath. Rudrananda believed that if you do this twice every 10 minutes in your morning practice, it's one of the best ways to build up a reservoir of strength, a reservoir of energy in the body. And prepare yourself for your day. Bring eyes open. Hands to heart center. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, reach up. And come into a gentle back bend, squeezing palms of hands together. Exhale, the heels of hands right above the head and draw the elbows back. You're in an upright position now, not a back bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, arms up, upright. Exhale, heels of hands just above the head. And draw the elbows back. And release. Free twist. The spine is warming up this morning. Such a good feeling. One of the things that I've been doing during this homestay period is still getting up at a reasonable hour. Sometimes I sleep in, but mostly I try to get up around 7:30. 8 o'clock. It's probably quite late for some of you, quite early for others. But it helps me establish some kind of normalcy and a little bit of routine within a very different kind of daily setup. Start to raise the arms. And turn the gaze over the opposite shoulder. And bring the hands down. Inhale, hands heart center again. Exhale, dive forward with the hands. Tuck the chin to chest. And round the back, separating the shoulder blades. Bring the ears all the way in between the biceps. And then inhale, open the hands wide, press into the sits bones, lift up through the pelvic floor. Exhale, dive forward again. Inhale, hands to heart center. Really establish a breath pattern here. Exhale, dive forward once again. Round the back. Tense the abdomen. Inhale, open. Lift up through pelvic floor. Exhale, dive. Inhale, hands to heart center. With hands at heart center, if you can, come to a standing position. Move your block off the mat, your pillow off the mat. I'll have to make some adjustments here to the camera so you can still see me. Good. Check down at the feet. Look at the feet. They should be about hips width apart. Toes spread wide. Weight in all parts of both feet. Feet parallel. Now lift the toes. Press into the heels. Tense the abdomen. Lift up in the back of the heart. And on the exhale, set the toes down. Inhale, lift the arms up. And bend to the right side. Inhale up. And bend to the left side. Really draw the left shoulder here, just under the right. Inhale up. One more time each side. You may feel your hips coming forward here in the back, arching. If that happens, draw the hips underneath the upper body. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center, and drop your hips a little bit. A gentle form of Utkatasana here, just a starter for warm-up. Maybe a hint of more things to come. Inhale up. Bend forward. Keep a bend in the knees to start. Still warming up the lower back here. Round all the way up, tensing the abdomen, tucking the tailbone. Shoulders come back. Head up last, palms forward, Tadasana. Bend the knees, inhale, hands to heart center. Back bend. Inhale upright. Separate the hands. Exhale the hands to outsides of feet. Knees still bent. Keeping the hands on the floor. Straighten the legs. Corset the core here to pull you forward. Inhale, palms to shins. Come up onto balls of feet. Bring the arms forward. Exhale, hands down to outsides of feet. Drop heels, lift hips. Inhale, palms to shins. Shift the weight forward. Heels still down. Raise heels, balls of feet, arms all the way forward. Hover. Remember to breathe. Exhale, hands down, outside feet. Lift hips. Inhale. Now plant the hands and walk back into a plank position where we'll hold for a few seconds. Soon we're going to move into a sequence where we're charging up the core, working with the ab muscles. While we're here in plank, spread out the fingers. If you're having issues with your wrist this morning, then go ahead and put your knuckles down, your thumbs forward, or come all the way down to a low plank on elbows. While here in plank, also notice the shoulders are right over the elbows, right over the wrists. Play a little bit with the hips, up and down. Let the hips sag. The elbows come down by the floating ribs. And now lift the hips up. Let the hips sag to the left side. Keep breathing. And lift the hips up. Let the hips sag to the right side. Inhale, hips up. Drop to knees. Bring hips to heels in Devotional Pose. Retreat here anytime today. If during the next 40 minutes or so, things get a little intense. Drag the hands back. Come up into a table position. And then walk the right foot, then the left, outside the wrists. Hands come back behind you. Feet heel toe together. And in slow motion, come all the way down to the floor. Knees still bent. I'm going to turn to the side here to show you all what we'll be doing for the next sequence. So the sequence starts like this. Actually take the balls of feet and bring them onto the floor, like so. Now lift the knees up toward the shoulders and bring the sacrum all the way off the ground. Yeah, the sacrum is rising up here. I can press into the back of my hands here, or I can press into the palms. Depends on my arm position. I keep the knees mostly together or close together. And then touch back down. Squeeze the heels in toward the glutes. Lift again. And continue to do this for the next 30 seconds at your own pace. Maybe you won't get 30 lifts in, maybe you'll get in only 10, but work with it. It's a gentle movement here. Take your time. If you can avoid any rocking, you'll really warm up the core. It's also a great way to become subtly aware of how your hips are positioned on the mat, on the ground. Ten more seconds. And touch down. Rock through. It'll look like this in your way. Rock through into a plank position. And we'll hold plank for 30 seconds. Only 15 more. Everybody got it? 5 more seconds. Good, and then bring the ankles to the outsides of the hands once again. Place the hands behind you. Come down to the hips, knees together, all the way to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoulder blades land. Drag the heels in. Come up onto the balls of the feet. Or maybe twinkle the toes, touching only the toes. And then press the backs of the hands or the palms into the ground. And lift once again. Knees toward shoulders. "30 seconds. Sacrum comes up off the ground. 5 more seconds. And touch down. Come through. Plank. "15 more seconds in plank. Almost there. Continue to breathe. Feel the front side of the body lift up toward the back, supporting you fully for 5 more seconds. And exhale, knees to the ground. Bring hips to heels. Extend out. Devotional pose. Drink in a big, deep breath in devotional pose. Move the knees out to the side if you need to make room for the belly. Exhale out the mouth. Now walk the left hand back and across the underside of the body. And bring the left ear to the ground. Maybe you can keep hips and heels connected here, maybe not. Just play with it. And trace the hand along that L pattern once again across the body and back forward into Devotional Pose. Right hand comes down toward the knee and then over. Right ear comes toward the ground. Once again, play with the hips. You can press into the left hand to put some weight back on the body to bring the hips toward the heels. And draw the hand back through the L pattern, back forward, up into table. From table, adjust the knees, wag the hips. Everybody should be completely warmed up by now. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, and press into the hands. Fingers spread wide for your first down dog of the day. In down dog, release the neck and head. Good. Bring the left leg behind you into the air. Turn the heel out, the toes down. Press into the right heel toward the floor. And then bend open, keeping the shoulders as level as possible. Extending the right leg as much as possible. Stack the hips. Extend the leg out and set it down. Exhale. Right leg comes back into the air. Press into the heels. Relax the neck and head. Shake it yes and no. And then bend the right leg. Search for the sole of the right foot underneath the left armpit. Fully extend and breathe. And then extend the leg out. Exhale, set it down, and walk forward in between the hands. Keeping the hands on the floor, inhale the hips up, straightening the legs. Tuck the tailbone. Tense the spine, tense the abdomen rather. And press into both feet. Round all the way up. Shoulders open. Heart open, hands forward. Inhale, hands to heart center. Step back with the left leg, lining up the heel of the left foot with the heel of the right. Arms come up. Warrior one. In warrior one, cactus the arms. Back bend. Squeeze thighs together. Next exhale, bend over the bent front leg. Framing the front foot with the hands. And then keeping the hands on the floor, lift the back leg and pitch forward. Lift the left heel high as you can go. And then step forward. Rise to standing. Hands to heart center. Exhale, hands out. Inhale, hands to heart center. And up, step back. Right leg, heel to heel alignment. Check your position. Check the breath. Commit to the bend. Find some purchase with the back foot. Pinky toe all the way to heel. Exhale, arms to cactus. Level things out. Draw the arms back. Then turn the gaze up. Exhale, hands forward, framing bent front leg. Hollow out the belly here as you breathe to bring the ribs off the thigh. And then when ready, shift the weight onto the front leg, keeping hands on the floor, lift the back leg. So from an angle it'll look like this. You can play with walking the hands back, lifting the heel higher. Whatever suits you. Experiment with it. And then drop the leg down. Drag it forward. Press into both feet. Round up. This time arms up in the air. Heels of hands together. Back bend. Extend the arms. Press the hips forward. Eyes come to the ceiling, tracing their way to the back of the room. Exhale, find the depth. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Palms to shins. Raise the heels, raise the hands. Hover. Hands through heart center. And then up. This is Utkatasana with the heels raised. Come all the way to standing drop heels. Swan dive forward. Inhale all the way to upright, hands at heart center. Raise hands, step back with left leg. Heel to heel alignment, hips facing forward. Commit. Twist. Left arm forward. Right arm back. Come up onto the ball of the back foot to accentuate the twist. Lift both wrists. Hence the abdomen here. Every exhale, deepen in the twist. And unwind. Hands through heart center, up. Clasp hands behind the back. Straighten the front leg. Open the heart. Use the heart to dive forward. Long neck. Level the shoulders out. Lift the toes of the front foot. Lift the wrists together. Heels of hands touching ideally. Exhale. Inhale, press into both feet. Lift upright. Step forward. Forward fold. Lift the heels. Lift the hands. Hover. Hands through heart center. And up. Heels still lifting. Thighs squeeze toward each other. Stand all the way, drop heels. Swan dive. Forward fold. Inhale, round up. Press into the feet to lift the heart. And step back, right foot. Make the adjustments. Check the knee position. Check the back. Knife edge of the foot. Back bend. Right hand forward. Left hand back. Come up onto the ball of the back foot. Reach in opposite directions in the twist. Lift the wrists. One last breath. And then untwist. Drop the rear heel. Clasp the hands behind you. Straighten the front leg. Open the heart. Fold at the waist. Shoulders level. Neck long. Every inhale, open the heart more. Lengthen the neck more. Every exhale, deepen in the bend. Lift toes of front foot. Lift wrists together. Maybe they're one knuckle off where they were before. On the other side. Tune in. What's going on with the breath? Where is the heart rate? How deep is the fold? Full breath out. Full breath in. Pressing the feet, lift heart to standing. Separate the hands. Step forward. Swan dive, forward fold. Uttanasana. Separate the feet, heel toe them out to the outsides of the mat. Arms to T, halfway down in the fold. Reach back through the sacrum, reach forward to the crown of the head. Reach out with fingertips. Tense the abdomen, tuck the tailbone, and rise all the way to star. Let the toes track out. Knees track out over toes. Goddess. Tuck the tailbone underneath you. Roll the thighs open. Drop the hands to the thighs. Bring the left shoulder forward. Gaze over that shoulder. Let it come back easily. Right shoulder forward. Lengthen the right arm. Gaze over the shoulder. Back to center. Turn the toes forward. Reach for the ankles. Into Baddha Konasana. Neutral spine here. Crunch with the core muscles. If you have crow or headstand in your practice, you can come to them now. Crow will look like this. Hands forward, fingers spread out. Feet heel toe in slightly. Knees come onto backs of triceps as you rock up onto balls of feet. And then fly one foot then the other. In crow. Last step is for gaze to come forward. If it's headstand you're after, you can come there from crow. Most of you opt not to do that. But if you do, all you do is plant the head after you're up in crow. Down on the mat, and then steadily raise the legs. If you come up the other way, a lot of people like to fold their hands, one pinky in front of the other. They place their head in the cradle, lift the feet, and then slowly walk up into the stand. Up to you. You started off in crow and are still in crow. Make your way down. One foot then the other. Landing in a frog-leg pose. And hover in Malasana. You're in headstand. Spend a few more seconds in headstand. Turn your gaze toward the third eye center. Even level breath. And then from headstand, let one foot come down with control, then the other. All of us now move into devotional pose. Place the hands on the floor. Walk the legs back. Bring hips to heels, elbows stay off the ground. Chest comes down first, and then forehead. Take a nice, even breath in. Exhale out the mouth, ha. Good. Even breath in. Exhale out the mouth, ha. From here, walk the hands back onto the thighs. We'll come to a few twists. Reset the spine, calibrate the spine. Drop the hips over to the left side. Good. Excellent. Now that right sits bone may not come all the way to the floor, but ideally it would be close. You can also extend the right leg to bring it all the way down. Inhale the arms up and twist to the left side. This is Ardha Matsyendrasana. Untwist. Heart back to the center line. Now raise the right ankle. Bring it over the knee. Again, return both sits bones to the floor. Raise the hands and twist to the other side. This is actually Ardha Matsyendrasana. The other one was Bharvajasana, for you followers of Sanskrit. Lengthen the spine, inhaling in, rounding into the sits bones. And then unwind. Legs back in front. We'll switch position now. Right leg will be bent in this fashion. Sole of right foot on the thigh of the bent left leg. Inhale, arms up. And twist to the right this time. Deepen in the twist. Exhale. Really relax that left thigh, left quadricep. Left glute too. And unwind. Left leg crosses over the right. Sits bones as much as possible on the floor here. Inhale, arms up. And twist to the left. Walk the left hand in toward the sacrum. Proud heart, open up. Tuck the chin slightly. Exhale, deepen the twist. Inhale, lengthen. And unwind. I'll scoot forward on the edge of the mat here. Bring the soles of the feet together. This is Baddha Konasana. Flap the knees a little bit. You bring your spine to an upright position. And keep the shoulders in the sockets here. Hands start center, inhale. Exhale, reach forward. Flex the abdomen to bring the upper body, the heart, over the soles of the feet. Now just before, when we were starting class doing the warm-up, we did robin's breath, where we buried the ears in between the biceps as we reached forward. Same motion here. When you come as far as you can with the neutral spine, reaching forward as far as possible, then bring the hands down to the tops of feet and round the back forward. Still squeezing in the abdomen though. Inhale the heart to an upright position. Bring the knees together, rock onto the backs of sits bones, and float the heels, hands out, in Paripurnavasana. In this position, really focus on pressing into those backs of the sits bones and lifting in the heart. Imagine someone's got a hand at the back of the heart, and it's lifting you up so you stay supported even as you lean back. Extend the legs, raise them up as high as they can go. One last bit of ab work here. Exhale the heels to the floor. Come to an upright position. This is Tadasana. Feel the integrity in the lower back here. Strengthen your core muscles. And then work your way all the way back, down to the ground. Take your time to get there. Round down. Big exhale. Draw both knees to the chest. And rock side to side now. We started off class with appreciation. Right now I'm appreciating just how good my back feels, how loose, how much weight I can feel, the back on the floor, spine fully touching, the backs of the hips, getting a massage, the kidneys getting a massage. Turn your head opposite direction of the knees. Gentle twist in the spine before we close. Now elevate the lower legs. Drop the knees over to the left side. Bring the arms to T. And twist in Jatara Parvatanasana. I sometimes like to bring the left hand on top of that right knee, just for a little extra weight to help me draw down. Every asana is an opportunity to notice what you can let go of. In Jatara Parvatanasana, I'm finding myself letting go of this whole right side here, all the way down to the hip, letting it extend. What are you letting go of? Notice. What can you give up on to feel more appreciation? Feel more relaxation, satisfaction. Knees up. Inhale. Switch arm position. Exhale to the other side. Knees drop to the right. Get a good full breath here. Maybe it's the breath you appreciate. So often we take it for granted because we breathe automatically unless we're consciously controlling it. The breath is the life force entering into the body. Think about something to be appreciative of. Knees back up to the center line. Raise the soles of feet up toward the ceiling. Press up into the heels. Keep the tailbone on the floor. And slowly lower the heels toward the ground. Notice how easy it feels. No strain necessary. And then separate the heels. You can keep the arms out of T if you wish. Or bring the arms down a little closer to the body. Inhale the chin up to the chest. And then exhale the back of the head toward the floor. Shavasana. Shavasana. We'll do a breath and release exercise. Everyone breathe in through the nose together. Retain the breath for an instant at the top. Let the tongue drop to behind the lower teeth and exhale out the nose. Inhale again. Retain the breath, and this time clench the fists. Flex the forearms. Drag the shoulders up toward the ears. And hold. Exhale, release. Inhale again. This time flex the toes. You can flank the foot by pressing into the ball or flex the toes toward the nose or both. Roll the thighs toward each other. Press the heels into the ground and lift the hips off the ground and hold for 3, 2, raise the hips higher still, 1, exhale, release, let go. Relax. Last one. Whole body tensing. Inhale. Flex every muscle. From the toes all the way up through the scalp. Tense everything together. Press the jawbone together. Teeth clamped together, eyes clamped closed. Make a face, tense the throat. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Let it all go. In Shavasana, toes track out. Eyes come to close. Trust the back of the heart to the floor. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Return to a conscious state of awareness. Flutter the eyes open. Take a few intentional breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. And increasingly on the exhale, direct the energy of the breath out from the core of the body, from the heart, back of heart, solar plexus, mid-back, out to the extremities, the arms, the wrists, the fingers, down into the hips, the knees, calves, heels, bottoms of feet and toes. Imagine this pranic energy, this breath that you're directing throughout the body is a warm white light. It fills up your entire form and extends beyond the skin, coming into contact with the external world. Bringing peace and ease to everything it touches. Take one last stretch. Arms up overhead. Behind you on the floor, press down into the heels. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale your way into the fetal position on the right or the left side. You'll rest for just a moment before pressing into one or both hands and coming up to a seated position, legs crossed, heart lifted, eyes closed, hands at heart center. We'll end class. We'll end with one in-breath followed by an exhale where we'll do the sound of Om together, the original sound. Press into sits bones. Inhale. And exhale Om. From my highest self to your highest self, the light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you for coming to class. We'll see you tomorrow evening, 5:45, for meditation, maybe some breath work, maybe some chanting, also on this channel. And on Sunday, on SunWater's virtual classes online at 9:30, we'll also be doing Hatha yoga. It'll be a little different routine than today. Look forward to seeing you all.